Hey everybody, this is Eric with Tenzing. We've got another great life experience coming right up for you, but first I want to talk to you about something that we're very excited about and starting to get heavily involved with, and we think that you should be too. Now, many of the business philosophies and strategies that we use are tried and tested. They've been around for several decades and proven themselves. But there are a series of new philosophies that are coming about that are paving the way for the companies of today and definitely for the next decade. And they're a little bit different, and we think that you want to be a part of that. How is it that companies like Tesla, Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, Valve Software have become market domineers just in the last few years? They've been completely upsetting the incumbents who've been around for decades before. Well, some of the ways they're doing this is around disruptive innovation, and they're utilizing new philosophies that I want to talk to you about today. So one of these things that these companies of tomorrow are leveraging are exponential technologies, those that are following Moore's law. It's the same reason why our cell phones today are more powerful than the space shuttles that sent a man to the moon. These technologies around computing, artificial intelligence, robotics, manufacturing, they automatically and exponentially increase in their price performance according to Moore's law. Now, aside from leveraging these technologies, the companies of tomorrow are also organizing themselves differently. They get far better revenue per employee. They have far fewer assets and resources than their incumbents typically do. The way that they're doing this is by leveraging outside resources. They're tapping into the crowd and community of passionate people around the globe who can help them to realize their dreams. Wikipedia is a fantastic example of an excellent resource created entirely by a community of passionate contributors. They're also leveraging the data that they create with incredible algorithms, interfaces, and dashboards to make sure that the information that they gather is being leveraged to determine what to follow up on and what to stop doing. And one of the key differences that these companies have is they have an extremely important and powerful purpose behind them. They've really leveraged their core identity to know who they are, where they're going, and how they're going to get there. Now, these companies also look very different from the outside. Not only are they leveraging crowd and community, but they're partnering with other companies to leverage their assets. They're sharing their ideas rather than keeping them close to the chest using a scarcity model. Companies like Airbnb are leveraging the assets of people's rooms around the world, and they've overtaken the hotel industry without owning any resources whatsoever. Now, we're just scratching the surface. There are so many other ways that you can leverage disruptive innovation and these new management philosophies to help you build an organization that will last not just today, but for the next decade. Things are changing. If you are not working to disrupt yourself, somebody else is going to be disrupting you. They may be working out of a garage halfway around the world. Check out our blog for more. We've got some great articles about disruption. We've also got a brand new website that's going to be launching very soon and heavily focused on this. So please stay tuned to tenzingstrategic.com to find out more about what you can do to build a business that's going to be fantastic for the next decade. Now, we've got another life experience coming up. Remember, you're busting your butt every single day, working hard. Don't forget what it is that you're working hard for. Make sure that you're peppering and sprinkling your life with little experiences to get the joy out of life. Hey everyone, this is Eric with Tenzing Strategic Consulting, out for another life adventure. This is one that I've been wanting to do for a number of months, and the chances of success are pretty low, but I'm willing to try it. So one thing I've always wanted to do is kind of put on my inner survivor man, Les Stroud hat and try to build and make a fire right from scratch using the draw and bowstring kind of thing. So we're out here in the woods. I got to go and find the different components. The only thing that I can have here is my knife, basically. So I'll see if I can find what I need, and if I'm lucky to find that, we'll see what we can do. All right, one thing I need is a spindle, so I'm just going to use this stick, and hopefully I can carve a nice straight piece out of that. Okay, we also got to find a lot of very dry tinder, so dry leaves, dry grass. All right, well, that was a bit of a bust. I wound up going to a bad spot. It was a campground, and they had cleaned up all the deadwood, so after finding those couple of pieces, there was nothing. We were way out in the mountains, and it was getting dark, so I had to abandon that. And now we're a couple of weeks later. Snow is already on the ground. I'm going to try to do this a bit more controlled in the backyard here. So I did get a few pieces that I think will work, and we'll see what we can make work. Okay, so here's what we got. I'm hoping that this can be the bow. We'll use this to catch the ember. I'm going to turn this into the block. We'll have to shave that down, and then another piece potentially for another spindle. So we'll try reshaping these guys. Okay, so I've taken the piece that was for the bow and just cleaned it up a bit and put a couple of little notches in there that I will use to hold the string. Okay, so that the one thick log, I was able to split it in two, and then I just sawed off this top section here. And I'm going to turn this into the bearing block. So I'm going to drill a little divot hole that this end of the spindle will fit into, and then that's not where the fire's starting. I'm going to be holding on. Oops! I'm going to be holding on to this, pushing down pressure there as the spindle spins. Okay, and this is the divot for the business end. So this is where I'm going to burn that in, but to make sure that we get that's where the fire is going to be happening. Okay, so aside from the wood gathered and pocket knife, the only other thing that I'm going to use for this is a shoelace. Start. Oh man, I'm dying here. Let's try to get smoke. I see the ember. Oh boy, it's delicate. Okay, here we go. Into that bundle. Carefully. Get in there, you. Okay, filming this? All right. Oh, not that time. Okay, film. Oh, I can't tell if there's a number there in stash. Use a dash. Get any smoke? Nothing. Close, close, close. Got a lot of good ash now. I think we might. I got something. Got a number. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't think you see that. Come on, baby. I had one. Had an ember. It just didn't take. Loose. No! All right, kitchen string. Who knows? Fail. Not kitchen string. This one's starting to go on me too. Hopefully it's got enough for a couple more tries. Again. Damn it. Well, it's starting to get dark. Probably tried at least 15 times, drilling different holes, broke the string 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure. It's not working. It's not even smoking for me anymore. So I want to put this one on pause. I don't want to say I'm stopping, but got to move forward. So maybe a bit back to the drawing board, see what worked, what didn't work. I got really close on that. It was one of the early ones too. Got an ember, got it into the fire bundle. It just didn't quite catch. I probably didn't have enough soft stuff in the fire bundle, but yeah, I don't know. I guess this is part of new experiences too, is trying stuff, and it's not always going to go the way you want. So what can you learn from it and move forward? I don't like it, but if you don't try stuff, who knows? I learned a heck of a lot. I never thought I'd actually get this far, to be totally honest. So I got to be pretty proud of that, I guess. So lesson learned: if you're out in the woods with me, bring a lighter, please.